Welcome back, and just in case you're just joining us, this is still Signature Morning, and this morning we'll be talking about the development in the Middle East. And joining me in this conversation is Ambassador Abdullah Abu Shawesh, who is the ambassador, the state of Palestine, to Nigeria. You're welcome to Signature Morning.
Thank you so much indeed, and very good morning Nigeria, very good morning Africa, very good morning Signature TV, and your viewers, of course.
All right. Thank you for honoring our invitation to be here. We don't take it for granted. But let's get into the conversation for this morning. In a few days, it will be a year since the current Israel-Pakistan conflict started. How would you describe the conflict in the last 1 year?
Again, thank you so much indeed. But I used to say, or I used to start by making some minor corrections to the introductions. Of course, this is very moral, this is very political, and this is a very legal responsibility for me as a Palestinian, as ambassador of the state of Palestine. When you mentioned a crisis, dear Godwin, no, it's not a crisis, because a crisis, it might be when you are have a crisis with another one who you have same power, or at least you the issue is not that much cluster clear what you are fighting, or what you are what is the difference between both of you. But in our case, in the Israeli-Palestinian issue, or the Palestinian cause, it's the Israeli occupation, not the crisis. In the recent, the very last year, it is the Israeli war against the Palestinian people, or the recent escalation of the Israeli long-time war against the Palestinian people. And let us put it in, it is historical incubator, or historical background. This war started in November 2nd, 1917, when the United Kingdom issued the notorious and despicable Balfour Declaration. In this declaration, the United Kingdom, who have no right, who have no even footprint in our historical land, Palestine, issued this declaration. In this declaration, they promised the Khazarian Jew, the European Jew, whom have no right at all as a Khazarian Jew to be in Palestine, they issued in this declaration, they promised them of our historical land of Palestine. Since that time, United Kingdom sowed the seeds for all of this unprecedented, unfair situation, or evil issue that we are facing. This war was continued till 1948, when the Jewish gangs, after more than 50 massacres that they conducted it against the Palestinian people, succeeded, with a lot of support of other Western countries, succeeded to expel and to ethnically cleanse the Palestinian people. One of them is my family, my father, I mean, who was born in our old village, Barga, and he became, he expelled and ethnically cleansed, and he became a refugee in Gaza. This war was continued till we reached 1967, when Israel at that time occupied the remaining part of the historical land of Palestine, and here I mean West Bank, including Jerusalem, East Jerusalem, and Gaza. So that when we talk about October 7th, which you're gonna shed light for sure about it, on it within the next few minutes, we should take it, and it is a historical background. We cannot isolate it, October 7th, or what happened just 1 year ago, out of it is historical context. The galaxy itself was not created 1 year ago. The Earth itself was not created or invented only 1 year ago. So that this is very important to start the discussion, just to make sure that to differentiate between the war that is launched against the Palestinian people and the crisis that might happen between two countries or other. But what is happening right now, what is running long time ago, it's a war against the entire Palestinian people.
All right, thank you so much, Abu Shawesh, for putting this issue, Shawesh, for putting this issue in perspective. But then let's talk about the human rights violations as it stands right now in Pakistan.
In Palestine.
In Palestine, I beg your pardon. How have ordinary Palestine survived over the last year? They've been surviving with the human rights violations.
Again, as if again, it's not only for the last year. We are suffering of, or Israel is violating all the human rights against the Palestinian people. I mean, long time ago, but it was intensive. It was intensified during the very last year. Just to talk about what is happening during the last year. Approximately, we are talking about 42,000 Palestinians was killed, was completely eliminated, was completely, part of them we cannot find even any single piece of them. For those 42,000, nearly 42,000, the majority of them, according to the United Nations and other very respected reports, I mean 70%, 70+% is women and just children. 10,000 of the Palestinians still missing. No one know where is those 10,000. The majority of Gaza is Gaza, or you can say that Gaza is nearly completely leveled. 1.9 million Palestinians out of 2.3 million the Gazans there in Gaza is internally displaced. Many of them was used or suffer or endure to be moving more than one time, looking for or searching for a safer place, whereas in Gaza, and again according to the United Nations, there is no safer place in Gaza. This is how many one is maimed, how many child became orphaned, how many one. There is tens of issues that if we want to take a look to it, for example, the water crisis or weaponizing the water. Israel is weaponizing the water. Gaza is completely shut down from the electricity for 1 year, one entire year. It's completely shut down from the electricity grid. So what I would like to say that when it came to the human rights issue, Israel spare no effort to violate all, and there is no exceptional, all the human rights in Gaza. Let me just remind you and the others that just in last July, the United Nations was included Israel in the list of shame. List of shame mean that the list that the countries whom is violating the rules and the international law against the children themselves. This is what is happening. This is what is going right now in Gaza. Put aside what is happening even in West Bank, whereas there is, according to the Israeli, they are not launching war in the West Bank. 700 plus Palestinians was killed, sniped since the very last year. Approximately, we are talking about 11,000 Palestinians whom jailed. All of them, with no exceptional, all of them, according again to the international community, or to the international reports, international reports, even Israeli reports. For example, Beit Salem, the NGOs, the Israeli NGOs, is talking about all of those Palestinian was tortured, ill-treated, and all of them subject to unhuman treatment in the Israeli concentration camp and jails.
Your Excellency, at this point, I'm tempted to ask, what's the implication of the escalation of this conflict in the Middle East?
Again, you back to call it conflict, it's yours, but again, this is an Israeli occupation.
We don't want to use the war. We don't want to use the war.
It's war. Even the Israeli themselves.
It's an alleged war.
Even the Israeli themselves is declaring this. They are in a. They declared 1 year ago they are in a war. Israel, Gallant, the minister of the Israeli army, declared it loud and clear.
But
They are in a war.
Your Excellency, I think it takes two parties to go into a war. And
No, we are not.
Palestine,
No, they are declared. I was very clear because wording had a meaning. They declared that they are in a war. We did not have army. We did not have weapons. We did not have anything to fight against one of the top 10 military worldwide, so that this is a war from the Israeli side against the Palestinian people. A war, not crisis, because Israel is declared a state war. It's not us.
So what's
Regarding the implication now, regarding the implication of the Israeli war against the Palestinian people, we already saw the situation is deteriorated. It touched Lebanon. They killed tens of. So far, we are talking about more than 800.
down to
Lebanese.
Hezbollah, down to Iran, and those entries.
They will going to corner someone by the end of the day. Hezbollah, Hassan Nasrallah, or others. To kill Hassan Nasrallah, for example, to assassinate him, they use, according to their news, 80 different type of American bombs to destroy the whole entire area that Hassan Nasrallah was found on it. Could you imagine 80 different type of different bombs? One type of it is 2,000 pounds. They use it to destroy the area where is Hassan Nasrallah located. So that to target one person, for example, they destroy the whole entire place and killed hundreds of people around it. So by the end of the day, they will going to corner someone. They will going to dehumanize him, so that any war crime they will going to conduct, or already they conducted it, according to them, it is justified because X or Y was there.
So as it stands right now, this alleged war seems to be escalated even to the Middle East. But then again, we are asking at this. I'm asking at this point, this implication of this. Is it going to further deteriorate the situation that the Middle East has found itself right now? Or we have to start seeking for other intervention, because it is escalating, and by October 7th, we'll be marking almost 1 year into this war. But you've gone ahead to put this conversation in perspective by giving us an historical narrative. But for the people in the Middle East right now, what should their faith be? Should they begin to prepare to leave their homelands and go to somewhere else because an alleged war has been declared? What's the implication for people in the Middle East at this time? 3
points again, dear Godwin. You said alleged war, and I can assure you Israel's declared a war. Already Israel declared the war. They are in a state war. So this is one. Second, regarding the implication, we could not take it on just on the Middle East, because again, no one is safe until everyone is safe. If anyone here in Africa and Asia, Latin America, believe that he is safe, since this is far away from this, the Israeli war is far away from their country, I can assure you, no. This is it, or the history learned us a lot of lessons that everyone or no one is safe until everyone is safe. Regarding what is the Palestinian aiming to or going to do on the expelling of the Palestinians, this was the aim of Israel since at the very beginning of this war. October 9, for example, you have Gallant, the Israeli military minister or Israeli war minister, declared that we are fighting against human animals. Everything will be shut down. Many of the Israeli officials is calling loud and clear, officially speaking, calling for the Palestinian, now it's time to leave Palestine, or time to leave Gaza. And they make a lot of pressure on Egypt to open the borders for the Palestinian to leave. Many of them, official Israelis, I will not going to talk about the regular people or the Israeli state, but many of the official Israelis is talking about completing the job, a Ben Gurion job. Ben Gurion is the godfather of Israel, who was established or declaring the state of declaring the establishment of the state of Israel in 1948. Ben Gurion is the one who's responsible of expelling and ethnically cleanse the majority of the Palestinian people from their homeland. When I say the majority, still part of the Palestinian, 2 million today is living in Israel, and we approximately 5 million is living in West Bank and Gaza. They used to say, the official Israelis used to say that he did not complete the mission. He conducted a very historical wrong act, because he should use that opportunity to expel all the Palestinians out of the historical land of Palestine. Today they are declaring and calling day and night to complete the mission. To complete the mission, or Ben Gurion mission, mean that to expel the remaining part of the Palestinian people from the historical land of Palestine. Day and night, many of their officials calling for Jordan is the state of the state that should the Palestinian live, and or Jordan is the area that where the Palestinians should build their state. What the Palestinian learned the lesson. If anyone listened to President Abbas just 5 days ago, before the United Nations General Assembly, he started his speech by saying, "لن نرحل, لن نرحل, لن نرحل." We will not leave. We will not leave. We will not leave. Which means that we are fully aware as a Palestinian that their aim today of leveling Gaza, of leaving the criminal Jewish gang who is patrolling the Palestinian street in West Bank with their guns, killing the Palestinians, uprooting their trees, and doing all of the despicable acts against the Palestinians. We know that their ultimate aim is to pressure the Palestinians to leave. They used to those criminal Israeli settler gangs used to circulate flyers among the Palestinian people, calling them to leave to Jordan. Just a few days ago, they used to circulate circulate flyers and banners to call for the Palestinian to leave. If you will not going to leave voluntary, you will leave by force. We know this is the ultimate aim of the Israeli current government. But again, we learn the lesson from the 1948, and again, I would like to remind that President Abbas has already declared that we will not leave, we will not leave, we will not leave. Just before you take the floor again, we should remember that the fanatic Messianic minister, the Israeli finance minister, he did not deserve to even to raise his name here, was displayed 6 or 7 months ago the biblical map of Israel, which consists part of Egypt, north of Saudi Arabia, the entire Syria, Lebanon, and part of Iraq itself. He displaced it in Germany before a lot of tens of Jewish leaders and German leaders, of course, or at least Jewish leaders. I can riskily say that Jewish leaders in Germany saying that this is our aim. It is clear for them. It's time to expel the Palestinian people. This is their ultimate goal, and we are pretty sure that they will going to use all the effort now. If it is not military, they will create the circumstance to expel the Palestinian people. If it is not by force, it should be voluntary.
Those of us that are based in Africa right now might not know the extent of the damage being done in Palestine as it stands right now. We believe that it is a near collapse. Gaza is in a near collapse situation. But you're more conversant with Gaza right now. How would you rate the level of damage being done in Gaza right now?
Gaza, just to make the story very short, according to the United Nations report 2013, Gaza by 2020 is not a livable place. Gaza now, after 2020, 2024, after 1 year of completely nearly leveling Gaza, it's a place that we know that it's not a place to live, or it's no schools, no hospitals, no infrastructure. Even the asphalt of the infrastructure, they remove it. They destroy everything for fun. I'm not pretty sure whether you show some of these videos, but I can share with you tens of those videos. One of those criminal soldier was for his 2 years daughter birthday. He destroyed whole entire building. And it is in the social media. He published it in the social media. This is for his love daughter that she became 2 years. Then he destroyed an entire neighbor.
Your Excellency, we'll go for a short break, and when we come back, we'll be talking about bilateral relationships with Palestine and other, especially from Nigeria. When we come back from this break, please go nowhere. The show continues in a moment. Welcome back, and just in case you're just joining us, that's still Signature Morning, and I'm talking with His Excellency Ambassador Abdullah Abu Shawesh, who is the Ambassador of State of Palestine to Nigeria. We're trying to look at the way forward for the good people of Palestine, especially in this situation and across board. We're looking at the Middle East and development way forward. But then, before I even come back to talk about Nigeria in this conversation, I understand that we have a United Nations that was established and born out of the League of Nations, and also we have the Magna Cartas of that was signed, one of the human rights charters, a lot of human rights charters that have been put in place. One will begin to ask at this point, why are Palestinians not calling for help at this point using the United Nations? We've not seen the president come out to express concerns on these things on a regular basis. So I'm asking, why is this so? We hear Israeli president come out to speak a lot about this thing, so it makes it look like their rights have been trampled upon, but we don't get to hear from the Palestinians. But why is this so?
Well, thank you so much. Again, for the good of the Palestinian people, you start, we are looking for the good. No, it should not be just for the Palestinian people, even for the Israeli. We are very honest in this regard. When we talk about peace, this is in favor of us as a Palestinian and the Israeli in equal manner. We will not hesitate. We are not shy to say that. But this is very important. We are looking for a peace for our benefit, mutual benefit for the Palestinian and the Israeli people in equal manner. When it came to the President Abbas, or I cannot compare him with all the lies that Benjamin Netanyahu circulated and spread it before the General Assembly itself. But President Abbas delivered his speech, and I already shed light on the very beginning of it. In his speech, he put forward the 11 points that can take us, 11 practical points that can take us as a Palestinian and as Israeli in equal manner to the peace process itself. When you compare both of them, both of their speeches, President Abbas was very clear. We are intended to have a peace with the Israeli people. When you back to Benjamin Netanyahu's speech, he did not mention any time the name of the Palestinian people, except President Abbas when he accusing him of supporting the terrorist people. This is, you can compare. Politically speaking, you can compare of the one who is really intended to have a peace process and the one who's completely turned his back to the peace process. Just 2 or 3 months ago, the Israeli parliament adopted a resolution by overwhelming voting. Only 9 voted against it, refusing even if they will sit with the Palestinian in the negotiation table, they refuse to give or to allow the Palestinian to establish a state for their own. They refuse our right of self-determination. Likewise, of course, the American, they're refusing our right to self-determination. We have in a yearly pace, the United Nations General Assembly adopted a resolution called the right of Palestinians to self-determination. America and Israel is refusing, is going against this is a fundamental right for anyone. Nigeria became an independent state upon this very fundamental and unique right, the right of self-determination. African country became independent state only based on this principle. They are refusing even this very human, which is completely entrenched in all the international international law, human rights law, United Nations Charter, and everywhere you're gonna find the basic right, the basic human right, which is the right to self-determination. Israel, America and Israel is refusing or going against it. This is very important when it came to the who's intended to have a peace process, who have a vision for the peace process. When President Abbas is putting 11 practical point to go step by step to reach out for or to reach the two-state solution, to put an end to this tragedy, to the Palestinian tragedy that was again unfolded very long time ago. Israel is refusing completely talking about peace or just they want to talk about war. Netanyahu himself, the prime minister, 3 days ago was talking about we are changing the Middle East. Changing the Middle East, we are, instead of saying building the Middle East, so instead of talking about our hands should be all hands on deck on the Middle East for the peace process or to have a peace in the Middle East. He's talking about war, changing the Middle East. We are in a war to change the Middle East. So this is the point. This is the difference between us and the Israeli side. We are under their occupation. They are the occupier. All international community, all international resolution, UN resolution, international law, international humanitarian law, Geneva Convention, all of these stuff is talking on our favor, but they are going against it. Even today, just today, they declared 1 hour or 1.5 hours ago, declared Antonio Guterres, the United Nations Secretary General, persona non grata, which means that he have no right and they will not allow him to land in Israel or in Palestine. Of course, this is Israel. This is the other face of Israel that no one, and they're gonna tell you why no one, because the biased Western media will not allow anyone, especially here in Africa, to know a lot of facts about Israel. All of the source, all the main source that the African and the Asian and many is came from Western media outlet. Did any one of them dare or able to give the people an equal, or the people here, I mean in Africa and everywhere, to give them or to publish to them the right information? No. Did they allow us as a Palestinian to have the chance to appear in their screens to tell our story? No, this is the first time. I know, I'm looking to your eyes. I'm pretty sure that many of your viewers now this is the first time that
because I'm
this
even
is the first
surprised.
time that I know.
So
Thank you so much again. This is the first time that you see or you watch a Palestinian ambassador is talking about the case. This all of this information is completely very new information.
At first, I felt Palestinians don't want to tell their own side of the story because we don't get to hear more from Palestine talk about this matter. So this angle that you're going right now, it's a bit it's a new ground for us on that. But then
I'm here.
All right. So enlighten us more on some of the happenings, even as we begin to talk about the developmental strides right now and the steps that we're taking towards development and improving the state of Palestine in even in the face of this war, alleged war. We are where we are right now. Palestine is where it is right now as a people. What's the way forward?
The way forward. But before that, let me just back 31 years ago. We in Palestine, the Palestinian Liberation Organization, chaired at that time by the late Yasser Arafat, accept the Palestinian Liberation Organization, accept to build our state of Palestine, in only 22% of our historical land. Do you want me to repeat it? Let me repeat it. We, the Palestinian Liberation Organization, chaired by the chairman Arafat, the late chairman Arafat at that time, accept in Oslo Accord, where we signed it in the White House, we accept to build our state in only 22% of our historical land, Palestine. When I say Palestine, this is what is written in the Bible, Genesis itself. If you back to the Bible itself, you're gonna find us there in the Genesis at the very beginning. Abraham sojourned in the land of Palestine many days. In Hebrew, ויגר أبراهام بأرض فلسطين يمين ربيم. This is the historical land of Palestine. When you go to the United Nations, and I'm the son of the United Nations, I spent there 8 years with many of my distinguished, of course, Nigerian colleagues. When you go to the library, to Dash Hammarskjöld library, and to go to the archive, you're gonna find, and I saw it, all the maps is talking about Palestine. If you find any one of the old Bible, the very first page you're gonna find Palestine. The partition plan 181, which upon it the establishment of the state of Israel, the legal document of establishing the state of Israel, 181, it is official name, the partition plan of Palestine. So again, we accept in the BLO to build our state in only 22% of our historical land. 31 years ago, and we recognize the right of Israel to exist. So that now you're gonna say that all of them is arguing that they did not our right to exist. No, we already, officially speaking, we recognize their right to exist. We give a lot for the peace, and we still ready to sit on the negotiation table to talk about peace. But any one of the Israeli today, especially the leaders and the majority, unfortunately, of the society itself, is talking about peace. If you back to their media, you will not find any single word is talking about peace. All the poll that is talking about the statistical issue and their view about the war and all of them is became soldier. They want a war. They have nothing to talk about it except the war these days. The Palestinian people again, Chairman Arafat again, Chairman Abbas again. We are ready. Yesterday, we were ready yesterday. We are ready today, and we will continue to be ready forever to sit to the negotiation table based on the international the agreed resolution, United Nations Security Council, United Nations General Assembly agreed resolution, the international law, the human rights law, Geneva Convention, and all of this stuff. To put it, this is the essence of the peace worldwide, the essence of the peace, or the document that maintain the peace. We are ready to review it, and based on all these documents and based on the agreed resolutions, based on the Oslo Accord, we agreed to apply it and to build our state, of course.
All right, Your Excellency, just before I leave you on that matter, I also understand that Lebanon, Hezbollah, and Iran are already by the side of Palestine, and they're supporting Palestine in their entry into this alleged war. How correct is this?
No, the question is, Lebanon or Hezbollah was in a war or in a crisis of war, like, name it as you like, with Israel, because there is still there is many villages. On top of that, of course, Shib'a villages, the Lebanese territory is still under the Israeli occupation, and they did not stop fighting against it with Hezbollah. But this is not the only issue. Should be they align themselves with the Palestinian. You mentioned, you said that.
Yeah. So they align themselves. But
the American themselves. Do you know that the American is guiding this war, and not only aligning themselves, but they are supporting Israel unlimited, unconditional, with all the weapons to kill the Palestinians.
So what I'm asking, if we say we're talking peace at this point, and we are forming blocks also by way of alignment, would this further lead to peace?
Why you just want to highlight Hezbollah? Why you just last month 13 or 14, I'm not pretty sure about the exact time, the United Nations General Assembly, 143 countries, including one of them Nigeria, aligned themselves in favor of the Palestinian resolution. And this is not the first time. Tens of times Nigeria, Africa, and many other 150, 160, many resolutions aligning themselves on favor of the Palestinian liberation. Why just we want? Because again, I know I did not blame you, but by the end of the day, they should corner someone. This is the media. This is the despicable and unfair media attempt to corner someone, but they did not tell you about 143 countries vote in favor of one of the Palestinian resolution that they provided it or submitted it to the General Assembly. 143 countries. All of them is aligning themselves with the Palestinian people. All the Arab countries aligning themselves with the Palestinian. The Islamic countries also aligning themselves. Nigeria aligned itself and supporting the Palestinian right to self-determination, supporting the Palestinian resolutions, maybe 16 or 15 sometimes resolutions in the General Assembly in a yearly basis. Why did we want to corner just Hezbollah or Iran? Because Israel want to do so, and the Western country, let us be very frank, they should corner someone. Those fighters, those freedom fighters should be cornered, and they should label them as a terrorist organization. Just let us remember, this is not the first time. Nelson Mandela was labeled as a terrorist man. If you did not remember, you need just to read the history. The Nigerian old generation know that they themselves, or the Nigerian in the last time when they resist their colonizer, was labeled as a terrorist and labeled as savage and all of these stuff. Could you imagine that they will label us as a Palestinian as a freedom fighter? They will not label us as a Palestinian or as a Lebanese or as African as a freedom fighter, since you are fighting or since you are resisting their domination, their occupation.
Well, at this point, Your Excellency, Shawesh, we'll go for another break at the moment. When we come back, I know we're supposed to talk about the bilateral relationship between Palestine and other African countries, especially starting with Nigeria.
Oh, sure.
Because I think there are a lot of lessons that we need to learn from Palestine. Outside the whole scenario of in the Middle East right now, there's still lessons to learn, and of course the viewer want to also learn one or two from Palestine right now. But we'll go for this break, and when we come back, we'll be talking about developmental strides even in the Middle East. Please go nowhere. The show continues in a moment. All right, welcome back. In case you're just joining us, it's still Signature Morning, and we're talking with Ambassador Abdullah Abu Shawesh, and we're talking about some of the issues in the Middle East and the way forward. But let's try to bring that conversation back home right now by talking about some of those lessons that we can learn from Palestine right now. I understand that Palestine is always to textiles and other things, but tell us, how's the cooperation been so far between Nigerian and Palestine, and how can that relationship be strengthened, especially using Nigeria as a big brother? How can we strengthen that relationship between Nigerian and Palestine?
Again, this is a very critical and very important question. I'm going to tackle it from two points of view. The first one, which is the historical background. We, as a Palestinian, and the majority, or if not all, the African countries, African continent in large, Asian continent, Latin American country, have a shared history. I will not going to name some specific country, but the majority of those country was under occupation. You can call it colonization. But by the end of the day, it's an occupation, and all of these occupier, colonizer was oppressed the African people and the Asian and Latin American people, and we have a lot of history that shared history in this regard. So that this is this history, this unfortunate history, is gathering us with the African. Many of the African liberation movement was with the Palestinian people in Lebanon, 1970, 1980s, and they trained they took a military training in the Palestinian. We are having a very strong and a very long relationship and very historical relationship with Nigeria in particular, and South Africa also, and many other countries. But with Nigeria was recognized the establishment of a state of Palestine in 1988 when Yasser Arafat declared the establishment of a state of Palestine in the diaspora. Nigeria was recognized the state of Palestine, and since that time we have a diplomatic relation with Nigeria. We have an embassy long time ago here in Nigeria, likewise many other African countries. When it came to the African continent or African Union, we have a special position there, which is the observer. We are observer in the African Union. Also, President Abbas or the Prime Minister is used to address the African Union yearly gathering, used to address them in a yearly basis, used to visit them. This is very important there, and there is a lot of issue, or there is a lot of details that we can talk about it when it came to the historical relation, whether it is between Nigeria or Palestine or in Africa in large. But just 3 days or 4 days ago, His Excellency the Vice President, Mr. Shetima, was deliver his speech in the United Nations General Assembly, and he stressed and tackled the Palestinian issue. It was amazing. It was a great wording that he mentioned. It cluster clear that Nigeria was and still and will continue to be with the Palestinian right to self-determination. The question is, what could we learn from each other? To be very frank, we the Palestinian is well-educated people. 97% is the literacy rate in Palestine, which means that we are well-educated. Many of us is hiring PhD doctors and all of these staff. At least today, after the expelling of many Palestinians from Gaza or leaving Gaza, approximately we are talking about 14 doctors came and start working here in Nigeria. When it came to the agriculture issue, we are well expert people, and we can, if we have the chance here, or got the chance here in Nigeria, we can make a significant change when it came to the modern agriculture. We are ready. I would discuss this issue a long time ago with His Excellency Jeffrey Onyema, the former the former Minister of Foreign Affairs, and we were ready, and we will continue to be ready to share or to exchange a lot of our experience as a Palestinian with the Nigerian people, as a matter of saying just thank you so much, Nigeria. Thank you so much for your people, for your government, for all the support that we are receiving from you.
But in terms of support, so far, most African countries still have this phobia when it has to do with the fact what they've seen on media, that their relationship, as this in any way, let me put it this way, as the relationship with other African countries ever gone sour due to the fact that what's happening between Palestine and Israeli as it stands right now? Have there been any form of resistance from African country in terms of doing business and accommodating Palestinians across board?
No. We did not. To be very frank, I did not hear that we have some African countries refusing to do business with the Palestinian, or refusing to do business with the Palestinian. This is very important. Even Nigeria is not the Nigeria government. I did not hear that they are refusing. I'm pretty sure the Palestinians very welcome to start the business here, and I'm pretty sure that some of them will land it here, because I'm economist, I'm working at that. Some of them will land it and doing something very significant again. But again, back to the politics, since the recent Israeli aggression, or the latest Israeli aggression or war against the Palestinian people, for example, South Africa raised it is very clear, very consistent voice against this brutal occupation, or brutal vicious butchery that is running right now in Gaza. And they took Israel to they sued Israel in the ICC, International Court of International Criminal Court.
All right, Your Excellency, just as a parting of questions before we call it a day, looking at initiatives by Palestine Embassy, one will begin to ask, are there initiatives or programs in place to further enhance the programs in Nigeria with the government, to further build more relationship with the people of Nigeria?
Yes, before I came to here, I conducted 2 years ago, a 46 official visit in Palestine mainly to sector, business sector and the governmental sector. And to be very frank, the majority of them with a lot of experience, or the high professionality that we have it, the majority of them is ready to come and to share part of this their experience with the Nigerian people. And again, this is the issue that I discussed it for 70 minutes with the former Honorable Minister, His Excellency Jeffrey Onyema. But again, how the issue when it came to the business and all of this, it cannot go very fast. It should take time, so that it should take it time. But before we start, unfortunately, we found ourselves in this war, and so that my entire agenda was completely changed, and the war, or to defend the Palestinian people, is consuming all of my time. I will not say 99, no, it's 100% of my time, just to talk about our cause, to talk about the Palestinian suffering, the daily suffering, and all of this stuff. But again, and this is my very important, or my message to the Nigerian people: you can utilize us. We are well expert people. We have a lot of experience when it came to the agriculture, manufacturing, the medicine, drugs, and all of this stuff. We are here. We have 7 manufacturers for the medicine and drugs issue. 7 in the very small Palestine with less than 5 million.
Your Excellency, if we allow you, you might just go on and on and on and on.
Yes, because I'm economist by that, and I should be very very frank.
Yeah.
I came here with the full permission of President Abbas, His Excellency President Abbas, and the former Prime Minister Dr. Mohammed Shtayi. I'm going to talk about economic, bilateral relations, sustainable development issue.
But we have to bring you back again on this station, because we have a lot of things to talk, and we've not even scratched the surface. My producer is already telling me, Godwin, it's time to go. I want to say thank you so much, Your Excellency, for finding our time to be with us today.
Thank you so much.
Well, this is how far we can go even this morning on Signature TV.